And here at the studio, we got Pavel Chinsky, the CEO of French-Russian Commercial Chamber. We're all confident in the French and Russian business community that the worst is behind, and one way or another, the situation is going to go towards the better. And there's plenty of facts witnessing to that. Mr. Juncker, that we're gonna listen to at the plenary session, the number of voting that took place at the French Assembly and the Senate that call on the French government to vote against the sanctions renewal. And there is a sensation of whole industries of French economy that the sanctions don't hit Russia as much as they do Europe. The agricultural sector of France, for instance, and it's a dead end. And speaking with different forum participants, people as the former Foreign Affairs Minister Dmitrin, Strauss-Kahn, everybody shares the opinion that, we can't go on like this. So if there's dedication from both sides, we hope that by the end of the year, if the sanctions aren't going to be lifted altogether, but the financial component is going to be eased up. In France, everything's more structured, There's tradition, there's history, but companies maybe communicate or institutions communicate. And here it all depends on the personal qualities. And enormous projects were launched by Jean Dupont or Paul Durand after he is being, called back to the headquarters in Paris or sent into some other country. And then a new person comes and there's, the relationships don't work, but then suddenly the whole business stalls. And then this human factor that plays such an enormous role in everything we do from everyday life. And, our relationship with doctor is traffic policeman and, all the way up to the head of state. We always deal with people. And on one hand, it's, it's interesting. It makes our country very attractive because it opens up this human potential, but on the other hand we cannot establish this work mechanism that doesn't depend on human factor this much. So I hope that maybe with the arrival of a new generation, people with a slightly different mentality, those who studied in Europe, been to Europe, it'll be easier, and we have to every time reference Valentin Trofimovich or Katerina Ivanovna to solve this or that issue. And the key Russian investment program is the purchase of Jeffco by RZD, Russian railway system, and apart from this large segment, nearly 700 million euros, if I remember correctly. It's either high-tech, of course we're interested in the modernization of some industries, which is expressed either through the creation of joint ventures, like in industrial niches as either, airplane building, pharmaceuticals, biotechnology, pharmaceuticals, all the priorities that have been recently outlined by a government. And of course it's winemaking. One of Russian French colleagues bought, if I remember correctly, they bought castles, and they're gonna make wine better than the French in France, and create this Russian luxury right there in France. I think this is there's some sort of musketeer romanticism about that.